Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. In tonight's video, I want to go over the monthly releases for October 2019. Now, October holds some of my favorite releases for all of 2019. This is a month I've been looking forward to, by far, has some of the best releases. So let's kick this off with October 1st and SpiderMan Far From Home. Now, I'm actually going to have a review for you guys in a few days of this one. I do have the 4K in. I plan on giving it a watch tonight, so I don't want to go too heavily into this one. I missed it in theaters. Pumped to give it a watch at home. It's a Sony 4K, so I'm sure it's going to look great in the audio and video department, and I'm very excited to watch it tonight. So let's get up to the next on the list, and that's going to be the rest of the Marvel. So I'm going to go through Guardians of the Galaxy is hitting 4K, the original. Ant-Man is hitting 4K, and Doctor Strange is hitting 4K. Now, Doctor Strange is actually my most anticipated when it comes to the whole MCU. I think that is going to be really punchy when it comes to the HER. I really think those colors are going to pop. And I really love Doctor Strange. The origin story was great. And I just kept appreciating him more with Infinity War and then with Endgame. Really a big fan of Doctor Strange. I'm pumped to see how that one comes to 4K. Same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's always a favorite of mine. So next is my favorite release of the month, and I'm sure you guys can guess it. It is The Shining. Now, this is the Stanley Kubrick classic, and the thing is, when it comes to this movie, is this is a visual experience. Similar to 2001, I mean, there's definitely more substance here and definitely more plot and lines and dialogue, but it's still a visual experience at heart and an audio experience at heart. The classical music, the visuals, it's an iconic movie, whether you like horror or not. I'm sure you know the visuals, and it's a movie that I've seen a ton of times, and I cannot wait to revisit on the 4K format. Love this film, instant classic. Next up, we have Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. Now, this is another favorite of mine, and this is one that I actually have in the Criterion Collection. This already looks fantastic on the Criterion Collection, so I'm really excited to see how this 4K looks as well. This is a great movie from Guillermo del Toro, who did Pacific Rim, who did Crimson Peak, and this is definitely a more far-fetched and more crazy vision from his mind. A lot of monsters involved. It's a very dark, fantastical dream/nightmare. Really, really great movie. Very touching story. And Guillermo del Toro is just an amazing, amazing storyteller. Next up, we got another Pixar movie coming to 4K, and that is Frozen. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Frozen. I know everybody really loves this one. Everybody sings along to it. Personally, not a huge fan of this one, but I think this one's going to look great on 4K, but I'm going to skip this one personally. Next up, we got Zombieland on October 1st. Now, this was always a good comedy/horror. Really like this one. Jesse Eisenberg was always good, and this is one that I haven't seen in a while, so I am pumped to revisit this, but this one I'm going to pick up depending on the price. If this is at the $20 price point or lower, I'll pick it up. Otherwise, I'll wait for a sale. And last, for October 1st, we have Gremlins in 4K. Now, this is not one that I specifically really asked for in 4K, but I think this is going to transfer over to the 4K format really well, similar to movies like E.T. did, and I think this definitely has that cult audience that is looking for this film. So take a look and watch out for Gremlins. The next week we have October 8th, and that is Toy Story 4. So Toy Story 4, I heard, is an epic entry into the Toy Story saga. So when it comes to the animated movies, I really don't go to see them in theaters. As you guys notice, I don't see a ton of movies in theaters. I do plan on seeing a lot more and starting to go more and review those for you guys, but that's a different subject. But the animated ones I mostly skip in the theater. So Toy Story 4 is going to be a first time watch for me, and from everybody who's seen it, I heard great things. And when it comes to the visuals and the audio, I'm sure it's going to be great. Toy Story 3 looked fantastic in 4K, and there's been a pretty big year gap in there, and I heard the animation in this one is really top notch. Can't wait to give this a watch. And next up, we have October 15th. So that starts out with Hellboy. Now, this is Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy. Finally, the Hellboy we've been waiting for, not the animated and not the second one. This is the first original Hellboy, and this is the one that everybody wanted. I'm pumped to see how this transferred to 4K, and I want to see how this one fares on the format. This should be an interesting title. Definitely has that cult following, and I'm definitely a fan who haven't seen that movie in quite a bit. Next up, we have a real classic, a cult classic, and that is Scarface. So I knew this one was going to be coming to the 4K format. It was just a matter of when, and the time is now, and what no better time than October. This month is full of classics, and Scarface is going to be at the top of people's lists. Now, this is definitely a movie that I've seen a ton of times, definitely a classic in my eyes. The Shining definitely outranks it for me, but this is definitely one of my most sought after titles of the month as well. So next up is Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell. So this is the sequel to The Devil's Rejects, I believe, or in that trilogy. I did see the last two, but I'm not too crazily interested in seeing this one. I'll probably see it on 4K when it hits a sale for Black Friday. I didn't check out reviews yet of this. I want to check out some reviews of this, but Rob Zombie's pretty hit or miss when it comes to his horror movies, so let's hope this one's a hit. Next up is a comedy action, and that is Stuber. So this one I heard pretty good things about, surprisingly. I know that it didn't really cause much box office, rumble, not many people are talking about it. From the people that did see it though, I did hear good things. I don't think it's going to be a standout on the 4K format, but it does look like there's a fair bit of action in it, so let's see how that one fares. And last for the month is American Gangster, which is pretty much another classic at this point. I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to this title, and this is just another great one to add to the collection. Next up, we have October 22nd, and that starts off with Charlie's Angels. Now, personally, I'm not going to go run out and pick this one up. This is the one with Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore, but I'm sure there are fans out there of this movie. We'll see how it transfers to the 4K format. Not sure if that one's going to have Atmos, but I would think that's where the upgrade would be. We'll see. Another title on October 22nd is The Lion King. Now, this is another one that I missed in theaters, another animated title, kinda. This is the real-life Lion King that just came out, the cinematic one, and this is a movie that I really am excited to see, but at the same time, I'm really nervous to see, because I've heard mixed things. I've heard that the animals are pretty emotionless. The lions, you can't see emotions on their face. And I love the original Lion King. It is my favorite cartoon Disney movie by far. So let's hope they don't butcher it. Let's hope it's a good movie. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Let's hope it transfers well to 4K. And the last on October 22nd is the 007 Daniel Craig collection. Now, this one's coming to 4K, but this does not have immersive audio. No DTS:X or no Dolby Atmos. And that's really where I think the upgrade would be in this whole collection. So that's a wash for me. And last on October 29th, we got two classics. We got It's a Wonderful Life and Wizard of Oz coming to 4K. Two interesting titles that I'm sure a ton of you will want to own and are staples in the collection. And last but not least, we have Red Heat. Now, Red Heat, honestly, I have not seen before, so this would be a blind buy and a first watch for me. Let me know down below how the movie is, and let me know if it's worth the pickup. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave links in the descriptions for all these movies. Using the links give me a small kickback to review more of these 4Ks for you guys. Now, I know some of you guys have asked why I haven't been reviewing as many 4Ks, why haven't I reviewed every title that's come out, and simply, there's just so many titles at this point, and I don't get really sent many from the studio, to be honest. So these are all coming out of pocket, and it gets very expensive when we have, 50 releases a month now, opposed to 5. So using those links really helps, gives a small kickback back to the channel, so I can review more of these movies for you. So anyway, guys, let me know down below what movies you're most pumped about for October. Mine is definitely The Shining. I'm sure Scarface is right up there. Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe if you're a fan of the channel, if you're a fan of 4K, if you're a fan of home theater, and I'll see you guys in SpiderMan tomorrow.